The developers, oh yeah. Age of Mythology Retold's developers are going way beyond the definitive editions for Age of Empires. We want to build the game in your head. What? What does that mean? The developers are going way beyond the definitive editions for Age of Empires. We want to build the game in your head. What does that mean? AR confirmed! AR confirmed! Yeah, Neuralink. I just saw some news. Musk is doing something with Neuralink, so oh my god. Revamped graphics, changes to unit numbers, changes to unit numbers. Changes to unit numbers. So maybe like in extended edition, you can select more than just the 20. Is it 20 or 30? It's 30, I think. You can select more than 30 units at a time because that's a limitation in the original game. More pop. Yeah, it's probably more population. That you know, you can select more units like extended edition and mythological power set. New video segment showed some of the game's signature mythological monsters in detail, including the terrible Medusas. Okay. The terrible Medusas, the flying Pegasus Scout, and Titan Cerberus. Cadaverus used an augmented reality platform. Yeah, that was weird, guys. That was weird. Monsters are pretty dang good looking. Pretty dang good looking. What? Can they say this in an article? Well, that's weird. Part of the overall effort to make Retold a real upgrade from the gameplay in Note 2, including changes to models as you upgrade through the ages. Changes to the models as you upgrade through the ages. What does that mean? Changes to the models as you upgrade through the ages. Though they definitely come complete with a stack of classic sounds and twists on the old animations. The Medusa death sound, just as I remember it. Yeah. Okay, so how does this have more information? I thought you guys said this had more information. Maybe just the screenshots? The producer, Earnest Yuen, had to say when I spoke with him about the upcoming remake, which will release this year on both PC and Xbox. He's worked at Microsoft for nearly a quarter century, starting as QA on the first. Oh, this guy did QA on the first Age of Empires. Oh, really? I've heard this. There's no more below. Yeah, is there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. It's clear that his love for the series runs deep. Ah, that's real. He's one of the OGs, dude. He is one of the OGs for sure. He's the producer. What does that mean, though? What's a producer? Like he makes the like the promotional content, the promotional material? Myth units get new visuals when you upgrade them. Is that what it means? Yeah, but he says the models as you upgrade through the ages, not when you research a technology. It's when you upgrade through the ages. What does that mean? Like how Hersier get an HP boost when you age up? In particular, the entire Twitch chat of AoE Twitch being Prostagma nonstop for the entire damn stream. That's bro. By the way, what's up, Snowcone? But yeah, that's exactly what I was saying early on. Is that like Viper even gets people coming in and saying Prostagma in his chat as well, and he's over on AoE too. He has never really played AOM, so AOM definitely has the hype right now, dude. AOM definitely has the hype. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. AOM has the hype, so they have a really... Like, when AoE 3 came out, the definitive edition for AoE 3, did anybody really care? AoE 3 players probably cared, but I don't really think a lot of people cared all that much. So, but it seems like AOM, people care a lot more.
Ouch, that had to hurt.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but still. Like in AoE, when you age up, buildings change visually, says Night. Oh, hi, Nightmare. Yeah, okay, I get that, including changes to the models. Yeah, but that's just default. That's just the classic behavior. Why would they want to call that out? Retold would be big at launch. Well, that's what I'm saying, though, dude. AoE 3 is getting Denmark. Oh, that's cute. Oh, okay. Well, but Skirnir, oh shoot, what was I gonna say? But okay, but aside from AoE 3, no, I mean, okay, fine, Denmark is cool, but you know, nobody really cared. It didn't make much of a splash aside from in the AoE 3 world, I guess. But whereas AOM makes a bigger splash in a wider world than just, you know, the existing community, right? I hope they don't mess it up at launch. Yeah, man, that's like the number one, the two things, man. The two things I don't want it to be too cartoony, like Age of Empires Online. That was like a really cartoony, like children's game. You could argue all video games are children's game, you know? I'm an adult talking about a dadgum video game, for crying out loud. But, you know, I don't want it to be too cartoony, and I like for example, the matchmaking, a ranked system on AoE 4 when they released, it was a disaster, man. It was a nightmare from what I heard. And, you know, it just took them months to fix all of the crap, so they released it, you know. They either released it way behind schedule, or their plans for the release were just not a good idea, man. Because all RTS players will try out the first month, then it looks like one sponsored tournament. Yeah, that's what they did for AoE 4. Viper said he might only play AOM for a few weeks. And the other GL guys, oh, I for sure they will, man. For sure they will, of course. But that's really interesting, actually, that you say that, Skirnir, because when AoE 4 came out, a lot of those Age of Empires 2 pros, like Viper, like Doubt, like, you know, Nilly was very heavily involved in Age of Empires 4. They went and played AoE 4 just, like, straight up. And so it kind of damaged their brand a little bit. Some of them had to do a little bit of, like, a little bit of a backtrack and to kind of rebuild their brand and their community and their success and everything. So realistically speaking, if Viper and those guys, if they fall in love with Age of Mythology, they might play it a whole lot. They're like, right on, man, right on. But realistically speaking, I bet they would be cautious. I bet they would be cautious and only play it for a week or two, because it, you know, they probably learned their lesson from Age of Empires 4. So I've heard, for those of you guys who know who Nilly is, some people said that Nilly never really recovered from all the investment he made in Age of Empires 4. I want units and things like Barry's gold mines highlighted a tiny bit so you can see them better on the terrain. Yeah, that's going to be a big thing, is just making sure everything is distinct. That's one thing that I like about AoE 2 and I dislike about AoE 4. AoE 4, all of the, and part of it has to do with that autumn lighting and aesthetic that I was talking about earlier. A lot of the aesthetic is, like, it all blends in. It's really hard to really tell what's what, you know? And so that lighting, that, like, autumn lighting, I hate it. I like the, you know, I like the bright, not too bright, washed out bright, but I like the vibrant. Vibrant is the better word. I like the vibrant colors so that you can clearly tell what's what. I think AoE 2 DE does a good job at that. Retold News has made you a few years younger looking. Has it really, Crozen? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Doubt 2, Anuba, yeah. Okay, so Retold has a major detail in its favor for not being shit. The teams have made 3 definitive editions in the last few years, and one of them is in the same engine. That's true, Anomi. That's very true. That's very true. So they've made all those mistakes in typical mode with development. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. But that was the case. That was basically the case for AoE 4. I think it was AoE 2 DE, AoE 1 DE, AoE 4, then AoE 3 DE. So AoE 4, you know, when they came out, dude, they botched that release like crazy, man. They botched that release like crazy. So, you know, it's like a first impression, man. It's like a job interview. I've told some of you guys how I'm currently hiring a new tech writer for one of the teams I work on. And, you know, as I'm going through that interview and hiring process, it's interesting. It's interesting, like, your first impression of a person, whether it be your first impression when you get on a video call and you say hi to the person, or, you know, really it's their resume that's the first impression. That makes a big difference, man. So the first impression, the connection I'm making here, the correlation is the first impression being the release. If they don't nail the release, then it just, you know, kind of like AoE 4, man. Kind of like AoE 4. I have a Gargarensis haircut, proudly. But it was a new game from scratch, to be honest. Yeah, I know, but still. I don't know tons about AoE 4. AoE 4 was not great on release. Exactly. Exactly. All right, well, let's keep going. The studio's plans to remake the first fully 3D Age of Empires required Wait, the studio's plans to remake the first fully 3D Age of Empires required a different kind of work. Oh, what they're talking about is AoE 2 and AoE 1 and AoE 2, they were, you know, I guess 2D games, whereas an Age of Mythology was a 3D game, so you can actually like rotate buildings and rotate the screen and everything. And inspired the team to go to new lengths in their upgrades to the game. Okay. Retold is way beyond what we normally do for definitive editions. He and the team want to make the game as epic engaging. This is good news. Epic engaging and pretty. Ha! And pretty. Okay, as players remember it, rather than simply updating what was there, we want to build the game in your head. Yeah, what is that? What does that mean, dude? Like, he wants to make it so visually engaging that it's like... Okay. That means... Okay, they clarify. I should just continue reading. That means using changes to the graphics and game engine that were made for AoE 3 DE, then going beyond that. Cool. Okay, this is good news. The start is adding ray tracing. Okay, I know that's a GPU thing, graphics thing, upping the population limit. Ah, okay, so there we go. And adding an engine to handle special effects. Oh. Okay. Like god powers and stuff, I guess. Population limit in particular will be a big change for AOM, not just in how visually impressive it is, but in the fundamentals of how it plays. What does that mean? What does that mean? Population limit. Population limit in how it plays. Maybe they're going to change houses? Maybe they're going to change houses. Houses support more population? Maybe town centers? Maybe town centers won't give additional population and you rather rely on houses for population? Stuff like that. Keep reading. Okay. Yeah, strategies in AOM were often boxed in by the strict limits on units set by the limitations of the day's graphical tech. On units set by the limitations of the day's graphical tech, even if it was widely praised at the time. This is like a Dostoevsky level sentence. I gotta like unpack this shit. AOM strategies. Why would a strategy be, you know, constrained by limits on tech? I don't even know what the this means, dude. I don't even know what the this means. This was limited by this, which is limited by this. Yeah, you're right, Skirnir. I don't even know what the this means. He's saying you can't control an Anubite jump because of the technical limitations. How do you know that's what he's saying? Strategies in AOM is the ability to control an Anubite's jump, or like the special attacks, I guess is what you're talking about. The special attacks were often boxed in by strict limits on units set by the limitations of even if it's... Yeah, where did this come from? This is not good writing. Like, he's talking about population limits and then he... What? Keep reading. Okay. Amateur, whoops. Another big gameplay tweak comes in how much control you have over your myth units. So this is probably the Anubite jump thing. They just used their powers whenever they were off cooldown, but no more. Okay, so you can control when people have. Well, okay, in Retold, what we are doing is we actually make that user controllable. Okay, yeah, so you can control when the Anubite jumps, when the Frost Giant freezes, when the Chimera does its thing, you know. I like that. I think that's cool. Why not? I'm glad that PC Gamer's writing an article about AOM, you know. Anyways, okay, so that's cool. The other huge change is in your god powers. Rather than one and done bolts of lightning that will never reappear in a match, those powers are now cooldowns.
Sup, just got here now. Resume thoughts about Retold PLS Kappa.
Bro, Metallo, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate it. Here's my thoughts on Retold. Fuck! Okay, the other change in your god... Okay, so here's the problem. Remember, everybody, remember, I come from vanilla Age of Mythology, right? In vanilla Age of Mythology, you do not have reusable god powers. You do not have reusable god powers. You do not have auto queue. You do not have free medium archer upgrades. You do have free tower upgrades for Egyptian, but you know, fine, that was one thing. You don't have all the free myth units. You don't have all this free shit, man. Ah! I don't like this. This is sketchy. Rather than one and done bolts of lightning that will never reappear in a match, those powers are now on cooldowns. If he means every single god power is on a cooldown, this is sketchy. I'm way sketched out about this because what? Are you gonna have multiple Ragnaroks? What? Are you gonna have freezes? Frosts? Dude, son of multiple sons of Osiris. Dude, imagine how retarded shifting sands is on, you know, in certain situations, right? Exactly, Kariko. Socialists taking over. You get a god power, you get a god power, you get a free upgrade, you get a free myth unit, everybody gets free things. Yeah, I don't, dude. Cooldowns like Atlantean god powers. Exactly. Like how you get, you know, like how you get however many uses of deconstruction, like however many uses of, you know, of trader, of, you know, whatever. So if this goes for all the god powers, seriously, like think about restoration. Think about how OP of a god power restoration is. That is a classical age god power. That's a classical age god power compared to my Norse classical age god powers, my little forest fire, stuff like that. Okay, anyways. Dude, this is so sketchy. Forest fire, yeah. Multiple uses of forest fire compared to multiple uses of, you know, restoration. Can you imagine pest rushes? Shifting sands? Dude, meteors? Dude, meteor's not that scary these days, man. Meteor's not that scary. Ragnaroks? Yeah, exactly. 10 forest fires and you can wood starve. Dude, imagine Odin. Imagine Odin. Hang on. Imagine Odin, right? Imagine Odin. Great hunt. You could just print sheep in your base. Same with Thor. Gold mines in your base. Dude, what? I think that they will make huge nerfs for that to be acceptable in the community debate. They better. Dude, they better. Dude,
I'm so tilted.
Yes.
Chill out, dude.
I can't. Thank you for the sub, Morgan. I appreciate it. I don't like this, man. I'm so sketched out about this. Calm, we don't know how they implement it. Sure, they cool down and stuff. Yeah, but here's the thing, Soup. The god powers are... Soup, here's the problem I have, Soup. I can remember...
Machi say, relax.
Okay. Yes, okay, fine. There are ways...
Machi say, relax.
Okay. I get it. There are ways you can balance that out with, you know, different cooldown times, but still... Ragnaroks? How many Ragnaroks do you want to deal with? I don't want... Okay. Here's the problem I have, Soup. Here's the problem I have. Back in the day, when Age of Mythology originally came out, we're even talking even before the Titans, a lot of the Age of Empires 2 players, they tried it out. Okay? And I remember Doubt, he still plays as a top level player for Age of Empires 2. I remember him commenting, and just people in general commenting about how the Age of Empires 2 players at the time, part of the reason why they didn't like AOM is the constraints with population. It sounds like that's changing, so that's good news. And also the power spikes in god powers and stuff like that. And so, I don't know, I'm just ultra sketched out about that. I'm ultra sketched out about that, dude. I'm ultra peace nonstop. Yeah, like there's, what's the cooldown gonna be? What's the cooldown gonna be? Because the cooldown for Atlantean god powers, it's pretty darn quick. It's pretty darn quick. So what's the cooldown gonna be? This is just. I know, Soup. It's supposed to be playing. I don't know why it's not. It did earlier for Metallos. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know who did this. Cadre of high-level AOM players are. I reserve judgment until seeing the actual implementation. Yes, but share the concern. I had a similar initial reaction, says Google. Okay, I mean, okay. It's from, wait, what? Player said something. It's from a developer. Are these info legit? I mean, I think it would have been released yesterday too. No, it's from a developer. Yeah, it's from the producer. I think it's from the producer. Yeah, it's from the producer. So there is NDA stuff, but it's from the or I suppose they have NDA stuff, but he's not sharing any sensitive information. Yeah, exactly. I want double rag. I don't want double rag, man. I don't want to. I mean, I'm usually the one Ragnarocking, but I don't want to. Restoration is OP 8 minutes into the game, but not as OP 13 minutes into the game. Yeah, but I mean, so if there's a 5-minute cooldown, it's all right. Yeah, but still, Soup, still. Part of the balance with Age of Mythology is that you have one god power usage. Okay, fine. You can kind of consider the fact that, you know, when you age up through a minor god, you get myth units, right? You get myth units, you get a god power, and you get technologies, right? The special technology. So there's 3 ways you can balance that out. You can have a really strong power spike with the god power. You can have a really strong myth unit. You can have, you know, really good technologies for your human units. You can kind of balance those 3 to, you know, to help balance the game, right? There's those 3 different vectors or factors, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, seriously, Freya with a Valkyrie, Forest Fire, and Thundering Hooves, does that compare to Athena with multiple restorations and the text and a Minotaur? Underworlds? Yeah, multiple uses of Underworld? Jesus, hell, man. They clearly are in the path. This is what the lady meant when she said... Oh, this is what the lady meant when she said maximize mythology. Yeah, they are clearly in the path where you'll probably have less impact with the god powers. Yeah, you can make the god powers weaker, but more uses. You can make them weaker, but more uses. But that really changes the fundamentals of how AOM exists right now, you know? It's gonna come at a price, yeah. Retold release will be like a funeral. Ha. Many people will gather for the occasion, but only a few will keep returning to the grave afterwards. I mean, yeah, of course. That's how every single game is, you know? It's not very often you see a game grow after its initial release. Like a cooldown in a MOBA match. I don't really know what that is, but I think that's what, like, when a unit can use a special power, I guess. Multiple, I don't know. Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. It's a fundamental and huge change exactly by the cadre of high-level... Wait, what? It's a fundamental and huge change that's been well received by a cadre of high-level competitive players recruited by the studio to participate in playtesting. Who is this cadre of high-level players? Mista, I guess, probably. Since he came from AOM. Maybe that's why Magyar came back, actually. Magyar has been playing a little bit of AOM here and there. Magyar, maybe. Did we already check if that isn't in debate already with both in Age of Empires forum? I don't know. What's my hairstyle call? My hairstyle call is I'm trying to stay young. My hairstyle call is, fuck it, let's do it. That's what it is. Esteem, Punkstar, Kenzie, Uros, and Machi are the squad. I know Mist is under NDA. That's not surprising at all. That's not surprising. I don't know. I mean, Mista's I have zero anything, you know, I have nothing personal against Mista. You know, he's played, actually, Mista's played a variety of different games at a high level. AoE 4, Age of Mythology, StarCraft 2. I know he's played some other games with Recon. I think maybe Grey Goo, and also Age of Empires Online. So Mista has a pretty well-rounded perspective of different games, so...
I'm gonna come!
Retold looks amazing. It's pointless to be negative based on this article. We have no idea how it's gonna unfold. That's the, I mean, by all means, Soup, I'm a very, like, positive, I usually try to take, like, the positive white pill approach. Some of this, I mean, this is clear cut, though. This is clear cut. I don't, on its face, I don't like this. On its face, I don't like this. On its face, I don't like it, man. The tweaks are all about making the game more fun. That's what I'm I was reading. And most importantly, more competitive. More fun and more competitive are not the same thing. More fun means you know, meteors constantly, lightning bolts constantly, flaming weapons constantly. That's more fun. You know, 40 colossi. That's not competitive though. That's not competitive. That's sketchy. Their hope is that this updated version will boost the still extant competitive community and tournament scene around AOM the same way the definitive edition caused Age of Empires to skyrocket in extent. Okay, yeah. The god power change is both great. Can you? Okay. The god power change is both great for esports. Is it? The god power change is both great for esports and for watching the game. Because you know that, like a key cooldown in a MOBA match, that lightning bolt or meteor is coming back around soon. Yeah, that's why people didn't like AOM 20 years ago and they left it and went back to Age of Empires 2. The anticipation makes it so much more fun to watch. But does that help the competitive aspect? That's what casuals, that's what we want to see. That's what casuals want to do. But if you're focused on the competitive aspect, home of RTS, if you're focused on the competitive aspect, what are MOBA cooldowns? It means like if you're playing as an elf and you can or a Majin or a what's it called, like a wizard, and you can use like a spell with your mana or whatever, then you have to wait for there's a cooldown and then you can use your special attack again. I think that's what it means. Anyways, dude, I don't know if I share this guy's perspective. The hope there is that, but bro, I'm sorry, Mr. PC Gamer, but the hope there is that by making the game a bit more accessible and helping it conform a bit better to modern expectations of what an RTS is, they can encourage some of the fun stories they've heard from players of the past definitive editions. This is all one goddamn sentence, dude. Whether that's participating in revising a better play scene, watching Mr. All right, Mr. Who wrote this thing? Whoever wrote this thing, let's go down to the bottom. Jonathan Bolding. Mr. Jonathan Bolding, here's a recommendation from a fellow writer. Split up your f***ing sentence, buddy. Like, that is a whole paragraph that's one single sentence. Add some punctuation and read your article out loud, man. It helps so much to simply read what you've... In fact, this goes... All of you guys, this goes for all of you guys. If you're in school and you're writing papers, or if you're, you know, an aspiring writer, an aspiring tech writer, an aspiring, you know, journalist or whatever, read what you've written, read it out loud, man. I don't even know what the this guy said. We're just gonna skip that. The entirely updated interface is a given for a remaster like this, of course, but game balance changes and exploit fixes are vital as well. Yeah. Those things need to be updated. If we don't patch those and fix those exploits, the game will not be viable as an esports game. It's important we need to fix those things so our community can run the tournaments they love. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. In the end, though, the Microsoft team still wants it to be a remake that emphasizes how great the original was, not discard what made it great in the first place. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like they're not trying to change it too much or something? All the changes we made, we will not break that promise. Okay. The visuals look really good. They're right on that border of too cartoony, but you know, some of these changes sound a little sketchy, man. Some of these changes a little sketchy, but I agree, Soup. You know, I want to end this on a positive note that I'm optimistic. I'm sketched out by all means. I'm sketched out by some of these decisions, but I'm also optimistic. I'm optimistic it'll be really interesting and cool to see how, once we actually see gameplay. I think it's a little weird that they claim 2024 release, although who knows if that's actually going to happen. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. You would think that they would have some gameplay to show at this point in time if they were going to release sometime this year. They didn't show it, therefore I presume it's going to be late at the end of this year, by all means. It's pointless to be negative based on a dumb article. Well, it's not just based on an article, though, Soup. It's not just based on an article. It's based on what the game producer is saying, right? It's not like it's just some article doing some reporting. It's based on the screenshots and what this guy is actually saying. He's a producer, so he's, you know, up in the food chain. I don't know how high up in the food chain he actually is, but you know, he's high up in the food chain. A lot of tweaking can be made. Yeah. Maybe they drop screenshots and will rework the art style according to feedback. That's fair, man. That's fair. If you look at like alpha and beta versions of Age of Mythology, the final product is very different. So that's a fair point. That's a really fair point. But I'm positive, Soup. In general, I'm positive.